My name is Waldog. Woo! Woo, 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 woo. I sound like a baby wolf. Like a baby wolf that probably not, definitely not the leader of the pack by any means. Like the runt. Oh! Like there's a bunch of wolves that actually sound like wolves, and like the leader of the pack, wolf or whatever. Like let's just say it's a female leader. The female leader like looks back at the runt. And she's like, it's like shakes her head, trods off. Leader of the pack, female leader of the pack. And I'm just like, oh. So, anyways, if you don't know by now, I'm a gosh darn so-called superhero alpha male, but I am especially renowned for being a gosh darn holy vampire. And I got off work, got caught in a storm. Unfortunately, it turned into a thunderstorm. And if you've seen my other videos, I don't jive well with gosh darn thunderstorms because they freak me out. So I took refuge at the gym and waited for it to pass, and then I scootered my way back to my apartment. Here I am. So, as my grandfather would say, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. This is my grandfather. I want to talk to him. I want to give him a hard time. Think about my grandfather. One thing he got right. One thing my grandfather does right. He does a couple things right. But one thing in particular that I could really use right now, he always has cookies. Not just cookies, but like pastries, all varieties, donuts. It's just this man, since I've known him since forever, since I'm trying to think of a phrase. I can only think of one phrase, and it kind of bothers me because I think he would say this to you. I don't know where I've heard. I think my grandfather said this, but a twinkle in my daddy's eye. Since I was just a twinkle in my daddy's, I don't know about that. I don't know about that saying. But anyways, since I was small, there was cookies. There was a cookie jar. And I was well fed. I went to Granny's house. There was always milk and cookies. I could definitely, after that storm. I'm still. Look at my hair. Look at that. It's a tragedy. I could definitely sink my teeth into some. I'm trying to think what I want right now. I go for some chocolate donuts dipped in milk. That sounds good. And maybe some soup. One of those styrofoam cup ramen noodles. Maybe one of those Marie Callender pot pies. All of that all of that in one sitting. Man, with two blankets, a pillow, all of that, and a small chihuahua barking at me. And maybe the news is on. Maybe the news is talking about something, and I'm kind of get. I watch the news for about 5-10 minutes. I get bored. Maybe whip out my phone and play a video game, and then fall asleep. That's what I could use after riding in the rain and working this morning. I mean, this sounds nice. But I'm charging my scooter right now because I know I need to go back out there. I got work again tonight, and one thing to look forward to is I got a couple of days off afterwards. I think I got 2 days off work, and plan on doing some stuff, reading books, recording videos. I don't know what else I can do, but it's gonna be good. I know that much. Praise God, praise God. But trying to recap my day here. Just talk, just kind of venting. Got crazy eyes. I just saw that. I do have crazy eyes because just rode my scooter down the highway in the rain after a thunderstorm. In particular, a thunderstorm, takes a lot out of me. It leaves me in a kind of bad kind of way. I'm not gonna go off talk. I want to talk about thunderstorms, but I don't want to. I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, today's pretty simple, which I like. Today was I felt like it was just my strategy today was pretty much just I'm gonna feel good. I hope other people feel good. I hope we let's work together as a team. I'm just I feel like every day I'm growing up more and developing, and I want to I think I'm not sure if this is the right word, but I want to showcase that. I want to show myself as I feel at the uh, level of development that I'm at. I want my teammates to see me for me, and maybe not entirely clearly, leave out the personal stuff, but I want people to be able to look at me, and it don't have to be people of the team I'm on. It could just be anyone. I want them to look at me. And, no, I don't want them to look at me. Let me. I want if they look at me, I want them just to be able to read me within a millisecond. I want a millisecond of identification required, and like, yeah, all right, like that's how I like living my life that way. I like being honest, trying to do things the right way. I like my confidence. My confidence is earned. How I feel is based off of just life, and things. And, I like to keep my life, I like to keep my heart, I like to keep my way of being consistent. And, I'm the holy vampire, you know, spiritual, uh, grateful to God, you know. And this morning, speaking of which, I was riding my scooter and I just pulled off the side of the road. How you travel sometimes. You're not entirely ready. Travel down the road and you're like, oh, I forgot to do this. Reach in my pocket. do something of that nature. And I'm there on the side of the road, and I see a guy, pull off because a person's turning. I pull off and I wave him forward, thinking nothing of it. And the gentleman rolls down his window. He says, "Oh, you can go ahead." And I said, "No, no, go ahead. It's all right. Thank you." Or I said something like that. And he said, "God bless you. God bless you." Or he said something. He either said that or you were blessed. God blesses you. God bless you. I said, "What? Thank you." And it made me think. I'm like, did he feel? Did he? Did he see that in me, on me, of me, that part of me that is spiritual, and that is, you know, and it just made me think like it could have just been a coincidence. And he's a nice person, but it raised my awareness, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. And it goes along with what I was saying about people being able. I want people to be able to see me and know, that I'm trying to do things right. So, and another thing, speaking of right things, I like to have fun, and I'm a leader, and also a vampire. I'm an I'm very agile, I'm quick, agile, and I enjoy being that way. And I enjoy moving quick, and I enjoy, you know, a natural thing. When you're working, you're working hard. You naturally build up, energy that may be kind of a passive aggressive energy. It's just a natural thing over time. Your body may do that. It's not all people, but I do that just naturally. And I like to have fun. Sometimes play around a little bit. Uh, I realize that the people, and not just people I work with, just people generally. People are we all have emotions, and there's just a lot going on, and it's not a bad thing. It's part of life. You know, what I'm trying to say, given all of that information, is that I think about a lot of things, and I have come to a lot of conclusions about things. But one thing in particular that I want to point out, two things, three things: discipline, responsibility, and also how that ties into wanting to have fun. Am I entirely disciplined? Am I entirely responsible? Am I entirely just having fun? No, to any of those. But to a degree, I have all of that and I want all of that. I need all of that. And it's not just me, it's other people, you know. And from a leadership perspective, I just think just one word is just like ringing like a bell inside my mind. It's just compromise. Compromise, compromise, compromise. Because I realize it's not just me. I'm a pretty gosh darn, you know, I'll just say a character, you know. Um, I'm a character. But the thing is, I want other people to also be, I mean, it goes without saying, if you love people, what does one person who has a brotherly or a sisterly or, dare I say, borderline romantically kind of adoration toward another person? It's just you don't have to say uh, certain things, but there's compromise and there's understanding and there's communication, and or there at least there should be in a good relationship of those varieties of uh, types in relationship. But I mean, to me, and especially in regards to my development and growth, one thing that I have a very strong appreciation for is the amount of learning that is required for some people. And maybe I'm a slow learner. I'll be willing to admit that, given maybe that's not a fair statement to myself. But this is definitely, I realize that I'm reaching a threshold of talk about to be talking about the chip on my shoulder that I realize that I have, putting myself down. Uh, so I don't quite want to pass that threshold um, yet, should I say? Because it's keeping me balanced. It's keeping me humble. But I do, I do have a chip on my shoulder. Uh, I'm starting to ramble. I've been rambling, but I enjoy talking about some of this stuff, and I enjoy trying to verbalize some of these thoughts and some of these things that I have a fascination for. Uh, and I think this is related to the message of this channel. Spreading positive awareness of vampires, nice vampires, but also bridging communication and teaching about that from my experience. So, anywho, I'm gonna get going. I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'm gonna rest for a little bit. Talk to you later.